Just as a disclaimer, we want you to know that some of the movies that we will be reviewing were shot in a different time and era where people of race and sex were not treated equally. We understand this and hope you do too. The movies or anything that happened on the sets are not the views of this podcast or what this show is intended to be all about.
Exactly. And we want to give due diligence in presenting the movie and not the views of the cast or directors or anyone involved. But we also feel it's necessary to let the audience know some of the background information to get a feel for what was happening at the time of shooting the film. Again, we hope you understand that we do not agree with everything that went on, and we just want to give out the information. And with that being said, hope you enjoy the show.
Frosty!
Frosty?
Yeah, Frosty it is! Frosty the Snowman!
Yay! Yay!
Frosty the Snowman, what a happy, jolly soul! With a corncob pipe and a button nose and 2 eyes made out of coal.
Alright guys, welcome back to the 12 Days of Christmas movies. Today we'll be discussing episode 7, Frosty the Snowman. And like usual, we just jump right into this. I'm Jimbo, that's Terrence, and here we go.
All right. Frosty the Snowman, Day 7 of the 12 Days of Christmas. Release date, December 7th.
How convenient.
Very, very, very convenient and fitting. So December 7th, 1969. This was directed by Jules Bass and Arthur Rankin Jr. Writing credits goes to Romero Muller, who wrote the story. Technical specs, we're looking at a runtime of 25 minutes. It's short and sweet, just kind of like
this episode would probably be short and sweet because there's really not a lot of information out there.
On this age-old classic. Sound mix, mono, WestRX recording system. This is in color. Aspect ratio is 4:3, which is very small compared to usual. Negative format is 35 millimeters. Cinematographic process is spherical. And printed film format is 35 millimeters. There were no awards for this.
I can't believe it. This is a really great movie.
And, seeing as how long it's been playing, you'd think it would be at least one.
There's got to be something for like a box DVD set somewhere along the way, I would think.
Yeah, right. Synopsis. A snowman comes alive when a magician's hat is placed upon his head. Now, a little girl must get Frosty the Snowman back to the North Pole before he melts, or the evil magician reclaims his hat.
Not musician.
The evil musician.
Magician. All right, so we're going to talk about the characters in this movie. You obviously have the title character, Frosty the Snowman, who basically is a snowman that comes to life by the magic of a hat. There's Karen. She's the elementary school age girl who gives Frosty his name and accompanies him on the journey north. Hocus Pocus. He is Professor Hinkle's stunt rabbit. He's disloyal to its owner and friendly helper to Karen and Frosty. Professor Hinkle. I love that guy. He's the magician who discards his hat, but he goes extreme lengths to get it back. He throws it away at the beginning. Then he's like, oh, it's got magic. I want it back. Then you have Santa Claus as himself.
Yep.
And the narrator, it's a wise gentleman with a soft voice. And the voice cast for this, Jackie Vernon played Frosty. Jimmy Durante, who was the narrator, and he has that certain voice, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That voice is just outstanding.
Very fit for narration.
June Foray as Karen, and we're going to talk a little bit about her in a minute. But she also played some of Karen's friends, the school teacher, and Hocus Pocus. And this lady, we'll get to it here in a minute, but she is known for we were talking about it, and I think she might be one of the greatest voice actors I know. Not personally, but I'm just saying.
Her filmography is stacked.
Right, and we're going to be talking about it here after I get done with this. Suzanne Davidson as Karen. She was uncredited. The later airing, she was uncredited. And Greg Thomas as Karen's friends, which was later uncredited in later airings too.
Yep.
Billy DeWolf as Professor Hinkle. Man, he deserves an award. Paul Frees as the traffic cop, the ticket man, and Santa Claus. So Paul Frees did play Santa Claus. So here's June Foray. Here's all the voices she provided just for this movie, and then we're going to go on to some other movies and cartoons and video games and
so much more.
So in this movie, she did Karen, she did the teacher, she did other children. But however, this is something that I found interesting. Starting with the third airing of the special, most of her recordings as Karen and the other children were replaced with the voices of actual young children. Her voice, however, can still be heard in subsequent airings of the special and some of the other children's dialogues. No changes were made to the credits, so for many years the actual child actors remained unknown. However, in late 2017, sources started listing Suzanne Davidson, best known as Susie in Miracle on 34th Street from 1973, the 1973 TV remake of The Miracle on 34th Street, as the first Betsy on As the World Turns in 1956, and later Karen's voice. So here are some roles that June Foray played. She was Granny from Looney Tunes.
Yep.
She was in the DuckTales video game. She voiced Magica Dispel. She was Rocky from Rocky and Bullwinkle. Man, I'm telling you, she goes way back.
Super iconic voice.
She was Natasha from Boris and Natasha from Rocky and Bullwinkle. She was Grandmother Fa from Mulan. She was on Married with Children as Scary Mary. She was Grammy Gummy from the Gummy Bears.
Yep.
Jokey Smurf from the Smurfs. She was also in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. She was in Denver the Last Dinosaur. She was in Scooby-Doo. She was in Pound Puppies. She was in The Jetsons. She was in Alvin and the Chipmunks. She was Aunt May from the Spider-Man and His Amazing Super Friends. She was in The Incredible Hulk, Pink Panther, Lost in Space, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. She was Cindy Lou Who.
Yep.
She was in the TV show Bewitched. She was in The Flintstones. She was on Red Skeleton. She was on I Love Lucy. She was in the Disney movie Peter Pan. She was in Cinderella as Lucifer voice, the cat.
Yeah.
And she was in so many more. And she was in acting from 1942 to 2014 when she died.
Yeah.
I mean,
what a repertoire of
and there's so many
voices
more. You can look it up. There's so many more.
And I do want to throw out that if any of you guys are interested in sort of like voice acting, a lot of the background about these voice actors, sort of how their work goes, or just putting a face to some of the voices. There's this, I'm not sure if it's still on Netflix. Last time I watched it, it was on Netflix. It's a documentary called I Know That Voice.
Huh.
And then so it gets into June Foray. It gets into the guy who voices Porky Pig. It gets into the voices of a lot of iconic cartoons, basically. And then you realize how one person could voice so many different things. Kind of like there's one guy on The Simpsons who does like 25 voices.
Well, you ever see those things they'll pop up on Facebook or somewhere, and you'll be like, hey, watch him, and he's just standing there in front of the microphone, and it shows the little character he portrayed. Yeah. He'll do that voice, and he'll click over to somebody else, he'll do that voice. And it's the same person. You're just like, how is he doing this? Because it's different tones, different reflections. It's amazing.
It really is.
She didn't die in 2004. Sadly, we lost her on July 26th, 2017, at the age of 99 in Los Angeles, California. So,
I mean, at least she rated your record.
She was a living legend. Sadly, this was also Jimmy Durante's final performance. He had a stroke in 1972, and he died in 1980.
Oh, man.
So, but one of the crazy things I found, there's a scene in Frosty where Frosty only has 4 fingers on both hands. But there's a scene where he's counting to 5, and he counts 5 fingers on his hand. He's going down the list. I forget what he was doing.
That's right. Yeah.
So, but he has 5 fingers.
So just for one scene, he has 5 million.
Right.
He has 4. Save the animation team some save face. And this was all done in stop motion, right? Am I thinking of the right one? No. This is animation.
That's Rudolph.
Yeah,
my
that's
friend.
Rudolph. Yeah. Doesn't he make an appearance in there?
There's another. I think there's another movie that has Frosty in it. That's a stop
Honestly,
animation.
Usually when you watch one of these animations, you watch them all because when they pop up on TV, they all play back to back to back. So I get them all mixed up.
Matter of fact, I do believe Rudolph's on tonight, or was that last night? So
It's December.
when this comes out, it's too late. So, so Terrence, what do you think of Frosty?
Once again, it's one of those age-old classics that you put in the background, particularly during Christmas.
Do you have any favorite scenes from this movie too, or cartoon, if you will?
It's so short that I guess there's not really a particular scene that stands out. But I do like the rabbit character.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus.
Yeah, Hocus Pocus is great. And then just I've always liked the comical sort of villain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just overly villainous.
Yeah, he's fantastic. The thing for me is this movie or this cartoon. I mean, I'd watch it every year, and you sit down and watch it, man. And I remember watching it one time, and I was really into it. Seeing what I'd missed and stuff.
Yeah.
And when she gets Frosty back to the North Pole, and he locks Frosty in that greenhouse.
Oh yeah.
And it melts, and then I think Santa opens the door.
Yeah.
And she's sitting there and she's crying, and Frosty's just a puddle on the floor, man. I was like, man, I was broke. I was like, this is terrible. I think it's one of the most touching scenes, and Santa's like, well, why are you crying? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He'll be back. And he opens the door, whatever, the cold air comes in, and he's like, happy birthday, because that's what he always says. Yeah. And that's when the professor tries to get his head back. He's like, unless you want a lump of coal or whatever, you go home. And he's like, what can I do? He's like, you need to write, I'm sorry, an absurd amount of times. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm on it. And he starts running, But fantastic cartoon. I can watch it anytime. Still get feelings. And then when, he's walking down the street and the traffic cop's blowing his whistle or whatever. He's walking just...
It's classic.
I mean, it's a great show. It's a great song.
Oh, yeah. Everybody knows this song.
Right. So, yeah, definitely awesome. Any final words on Frosty before we move on?
I think there's nothing more to be said that what we've already said.
What can you say, right? So if you haven't seen it, I don't know if you've been living under a rock or you're just a millennial like Terrence, but make sure you check out Frosty.
How does that even correlate?
I don't know. I was just hoping. I was waiting for you to say, "Oh, I haven't seen this," and then I was really going to just blast you. I had my guns ready.
I've seen all these classic Christmas.
I had my words lined up, and I was just going to shred you with them. But I'm glad you've seen those. So, yes, stay tuned for tomorrow when we will be talking about Episode 8, A Miracle on 34th Street. And if you haven't seen that one, Terrence.
Yeah, that one I do got to watch.
Yeah. Have you never seen it?
I've never seen it.
Oh, you're in for a treat. So, until tomorrow, I think that's a wrap on this episode. And cut.